all time in the next near future. I've got a couple of things recorded over there, so you can check that out. I'll put out a link. So welcome to the show, Blake.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me again.
Yes, sir. It's been just a minute, so why don't you catch us up on how things are going? So that's awesome, man. Yeah. All right, I'm good. Let me think. I think I'm good here. Let me just go one more. There we go. So everything should be going out. If you're in the comments tonight, just let us know that everything's going out good. You can hear us. And, of course, as always, you can join in about the ER.
So the ER is the first ever standalone ER in the state of Georgia. And that was accomplished with no county funds invested whatsoever.
Zero, huh?
Zero. And not only that, they have expanded everything that's in the ER now to outpatient services as well.
Right. You're putting it over here.
Wouldn't surprise me. We got the Waffle House, and now Walker County is getting a Waffle House. So,
exactly. So that's pretty cool, man. I like that. I was going to try to pull up your, I think this is it right here. So let's just pull up a little bit and see.
Yeah.
Where are we at here? Hang on with me one sec. Some people sign waving out there.
Yeah, that's my wife and my son.
Okay, cool, cool. Let's see. I saw this one the other day. So what's this all about?
So Tologa Spring Farm put this on every year, and it's a plant swap that part of the proceeds goes to the animal advocates and Tologa Volunteer Fire Department. So this year, I think she had roughly about 3,500 people come through that.
Wow.
Great event, a lot of vendors. They do it right there on their farm. It's a great spot. Mandy and John, they do a great job there. And, of course, it helps animal advocates out a lot. Animal advocates is a great group.
Awesome.
They help the county out a lot with placing animals and things like that. So.
Right. Good deal. Good deal. Oh, yeah, there
voting is going on, so if you want to vote early, go ahead. We'd appreciate your vote early.
Absolutely. It is coming up like crazy. I know that early voting is going on now, so there's really no excuse for anybody at the moment. I mean, I'm not too crazy about the whole early voting thing, but I had to take my dad up there and help him. So, it's good. I mean, there's no excuse to not go vote, right? And we need it now more than ever. So
there's a large ballot this go around. A lot of questions on the ballot, a lot of polls on the ballot. Of course, our homestead exemption freeze is on the ballot.
Right.
So
let's go into that for a minute now. Explain the homestead exemption freeze.
So the only way that state or local government can manipulate increases in the housing market is through homestead exemptions. Right. So the state recently passed a bill this past session to help with some of the issues that we saw this year with assessments. All 159 counties saw issues. You can't go and talk to a county leadership without hearing the same story. So they passed a bill to help deal with some of those issues, and in that bill, part of it is a homestead exemption freeze. So through the homestead exemption, someone can freeze their assessed value where it's at and not have to worry about increase.
Tax that people are talking about?
I think so.
Yeah,
probably.
Okay.
They're rolling out the information on it right now, so I think you're going to see a lot of local governments look at that to try to help with the situation when it comes to the home values going up.
Good.
It's an issue. Like I said, you can't go to any county across the state and not have the same issue.
Right.
And local government is not immune to that inflation. We took. Like I said, we set the lowest millage rate in 13 years this year, and we took a $250,000 hit to our budget. Well, you do that, and then like this year, for instance, 2.2 miles. When we pave a road, basically you're just capping over the pavement that's there. I'm not talking about paving a road from the base layer up. So, well, every year it's I call it a hostage negotiation situation where we have to negotiate our county insurance.
Right.
And first year in office, they want an extra 10%. We negotiated down to no increase. Every year we've been able to negotiate down a lower increase. But this year it's hard because there's only 4 healthcare carriers in the state of Georgia now.
Really?
Yes.
Only 4?
4.
Wow, why is that? Are they going bankrupt? Are they just leaving the state? I mean,
A lot. It's just
Wow.
it's all about the revenues.
Uh-huh.
And so and a lot of them have consolidated. You've got
Yeah.
we don't have Blue Cross Blue Shield anymore. We have Anthem,
Mm-hmm.
which was a combination of Blue Cross
Yeah.
Blue Shield and Anthem together. So you just that's
True. My insurance switched over to Anthem, so absolutely.
Yeah.
Wow. It's just wild, man. There's a lot of things coming at us. This year, and Lord, I'm sure as you are and I am, we'll be glad to get through this primary. So,
Yes.
you know,
Yes, I'm
move,
ready.
Move
I'm
on
ready.
and
Yes.
get past it.
Yes.
So, like, if you all have any questions, not I will. Christy Slayton, good to see you this evening. She said bad connection. I don't have any connection issues on my end, and I've dropped no viewers. So, just let me know if things are coming in clear. We are recording this. And Sharon Holland, as always, thank you for watching. We appreciate you. So, where's all our Chattooga County people at? So anyway, let's see. Let's go ahead and talk to. So she says, before you vote, it helps to study the sample ballot.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
absolutely.
Very much. I've heard of a lot of people that are going through it because it's a large ballot.
It really is. Our county. So I said I voted early. My dad wanted to go vote, and he's 81 this year. I said, sure, we'll go vote, and I took him over there, and he had to leave. Well, you can't have your cell phone in there, so I held his phone while he went in and voted. But I went in second. But man. Not only was it a pretty big ballot this year, but the questions on the ballot are some of the best questions I've ever seen on the ballot in here. Talking about election integrity and taxes and all kinds of good stuff. So I'm really hoping that feedback goes a long way in the state.
Yeah, I think so too. I think so too. I think a lot of people kind of get a little stressed out with those questions, but they need to know that those are straw polls. That
Exactly.
they're not legally binding of anything. That just they're trying to get an idea of what your thoughts are.
Well, you can tell the sea change. I mean, you can tell that people are really they're engaged and they're asking. I thought a lot of the right questions. I wish I would have had my phone in there where I could have taken the pictures of the questions because there's some pretty good ones. So
and we had a good event. I think after we had our last podcast, we had a meet and greet.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, had a good event.
Yeah.
Had AFP there.
Yes,
Americans
AFP.
for Prosperity.
Yes, I like them.
And the Young Republicans from Rome, which they actually covered Chattooga County as well, so they were there.
Yeah. I guess anything is possible, but is it realistic? I can't imagine it. She probably said I can't imagine it would be impossible. So.
Okay. Yeah, so we have volunteer fire departments.
Okay.
We also the fire departments to get on our malt beverage account by our auditors.
Okay.
So there's like a buffer, kind of. We don't require the volunteer fire departments to give us any financials or anything like that. To give them more money and not come out of malt beverage, you would have to take it out of general fund, which means you're going to have to pull it from somewhere else. And then also it would, but we definitely have tried to do our best with supporting our volunteer fire departments.
I guess so. To kind of answer in the future, make it be possible for a sit down, maybe, right? I mean,
like they know that they can call me anytime, and like I said, and a lot of them don't hesitate to, and they say, hey, look, we need this, we need that. Can you help us? And most of the time, we're in a position where we can. They started the year in the negative.
Gotcha.
So when you're talking about that kind of situation, you're really pinching pennies and trying to figure out how to move money around and things like that. Right. We constantly, it seems like we negotiate contracts every year and we'll save $10,000 for this year on a contract. We're always constantly negotiating contracts. I do it all the time.
Gotcha.
But the minute that you do that, then you have lower millage rate. So it's just working with people and getting it done.
That's good. A lot of times too, I don't think that we often show a whole lot of appreciation. I'm not saying you and me, but we have to remember that people like our first responders are all, it's all volunteer force, you know. I used to be, not me on the cave and cliff rescue, but I used to attend the meetings, and, you know, those people could get. Everything looks good on my end. I don't know what it is. It could be this nasty weather that's supposed to be moving in. So we are recording the show. If you would like to leave a comment or a question, go ahead, because if anything drops out, we'll release the full show. So Lauren had another to trying to take the precautions to fix all that. But let me see if this. Well, I'm going to leave that going. So anyway, so why don't we do this one thing?
The new one that we passed, it did not do any of that either.
Okay.
However, there was some confusion, and our committee took in a couple of extra public meetings to get public input. We took that input. Does that mean it opens it up for the government to be able to regulate it?
Okay.
And so we made sure that in the this one, it says that this does not regulate these things.
Okay.
You know, we've had, I think the argument has tried to be made that this is going to hinder development. This is not made to hinder development. It's not made to promote development. It's made to make sure that development is done correctly.
Okay.
And everybody is on the same and gets saturated. You know, your property values are even higher than ours. And we're going to see a lot of trickle down. We're already seeing a lot of trickle down. We're seeing a lot of people move in from out of state. They're trying to escape some of the bad policies in some of these other states. And going on with the quarry right now. You know, and y'all have zoning.
Yes.
You know, Chattooga County doesn't have zoning. But, you know, a project like the quarry would have gone in front of this group. It would have been public in a public meeting, and everybody would have had a say in it. So
Yeah. I haven't. I wanted to do my due diligence about the rock. Pretty much already done deal. They just really wanted the input of the community. So, I mean, I get it. They're not breaking any laws or regulations, you know. But it is what it is. But I think ultimately, from the video that I was watching and saw,
is being out front with the public and letting them know what's going on. And, you know, I think public-driven development. You know, I've said this a lot, and, you know, there's going to be other local government officials that's probably not going to agree with me because they're going to say, well, development is important.
Absolutely. I agree. Okay, Anna Sharp, good to see you this evening. Yeah, I don't know where any technical issues are on my end. I really believe it's the weather. It seems to be a pattern here. Obviously, I don't live in the county, but I work a lot with the people in the county, and all I see is improvements across the board. You know, and another thing I wanted to comment on is like when you were talking about how you came in with a deficit. And
in 4 years, we've gotten a little less than $8 million in grants for various projects. You know, we've gotten grants, everything from the local downtown theater to road work to, of course, broadband. You know, and like I said, once again, with us being a smaller county and trying to address the issues with inflation and local, I do that when in office. We use our regional commission a lot for the grants as well. They're a big benefit for us. So, you know, but our department heads, I mean, you know, I've got multiple of them now that are going through grant processes for certain things, you know, and that's good. You know, you want those people to go after things.
Gotcha.
You know, so.
Yeah, I mean, I think
Grant money from the state. The grant money is not going to go back to the taxpayers' pockets.
Right.
It's going to go back to the state. And I can guarantee you that the larger counties, your metro counties, are going to have their hand out saying, hey, give us that money. And then tax dollars from barely covers our match plus our yearly maintenance for roads. So, you know, to not have LMIG, there's no way. I mean, because like I said, I mean, just the asphalt, and I'm not talking about the actual work, just the physical asphalt material has doubled.
Really? Yeah, like you said, 150 money off of, right? So
yeah, you really got to start diversifying your. If you're looking at economic development, you really need, especially smaller communities that are not access to 75. They got to
Right.
start, kind of spreading out how they do their economic development. And so, really.
We've got
Yeah.
all of these people that come up from the metro areas to use the mountain, and not so much in Chattooga County. It's you don't have that Pigeon Mountain, but you've got the other mountains
Yeah.
going into Alabama and everything.
Well,
so.
and we got the first year in office. Two gentlemen came to my office, wanted to build a mountain bike facility, and I said, "Yeah, that sounds awesome. Good luck." They bought a big piece of tract of land. It's a really neat thing.
Where's it at? I've not even heard of it.
It's off of Dry Creek Road.
Okay.
Very
okay.
close to where the Chattooga and Floyd County line is.
Gotcha. Okay. Very cool. Very cool. All right. Lauren's asked touch with you. How can people can still donate to the campaign? Like, how can they find out more information?
They can still donate to the campaign. Check us out on our Facebook page. Check us out on our website.
Let's see here. Re-elect Blake.
There you go.
So
yeah,
maybe we aren't. Has it been doing that? I haven't been noticing.
I think so.
All right.
But yeah, no, going good. I think coming up next legislative session will be very interesting.
It will be. It will. I know we got some good legislation signed into off. Election trial going on down there, so we'll see how that goes. But when does the next session start, Lord?
That will be January.
Will it be January? I didn't know if they had another fall session coming up or not. So
no. To serve in the group as board of managers that manages the group, or you can serve in the legislative arm as far as each area. You have an area for taxes, you have an area for public service, you have an area for economic development, all this other stuff. Knows your community better than you.
Right.
What works for Cherokee County doesn't work for Chattooga County, and what works for Chattooga County doesn't work for Walker County. So I sit as vice chair for general county policy, so we get all the good stuff. We get the election bills. And then we'll vote on what do we want to say,
Gotcha.
Support, not support, stay neutral, things like that.
That's good. Okay. It sounds like there's a lot of proactive things going on. I mean, we discussed this before, and I've discussed it with several candidates. It's not business as usual anymore. Like, everybody is watching, everybody's paying attention, everybody's reading bills and putting their 2 cents in. I think it's a great thing. It's going to hold our elected representatives, accountable for their actions, and that's where we need to be.
Yeah. Well, and I'm a little different. Being a soul, it is a little bit different setup. You have direct communication with not just your legislators, but your partners, things of that nature. But I think it's very important.
T-Splosh, so many times we don't understand something until we sit down and look at it. And a part of it, to me, is the way that it's always been represented, right? Like, I didn't find out till this year that a T-Splosh tax is something that goes back 30 plus years, But I think a lot of it is just where the public was never really knowledgeable.
And I think sales tax itself is a fairer tax, but you talk about large communities. Say you're talking.
If we can go back and revisit T-Splosh in a way that includes more people, and you brought up Atlanta. I just drove through Atlanta all weekend. I can't tell they have a T-Splosh.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, so where I can
imagine, and then you've got counties. There's a county in South Georgia. I think their yearly budget is $9 million.
Yeah.
Or no, $6 million. $6 million. Sorry. $6 million. So, but and that'll be a topic, moving forward for next term. The jail's been an issue for years. Every grand jury, just about for the past 20 years, has said we need a jail. So we got the as things change, committees change. They came back and said we're not going to honor that. So just so happened, I was actually at a luncheon with our congresswoman.
Okay.
And USDA made a presentation about that program. Yeah, but it doesn't mean we can't work on it.
Sure.
So I think we're getting very close to having a solution for that that is going to be beneficial, because you got to start looking 20, 30 years down the road, something that's going to be long-standing. And Mercer University and a lot of other groups, the Georgia Rural Health Innovative Center, we've been building relationships with GNTC. GNTC is fixing to start an advanced phlebotomy class at our multipurpose building. So we're talking about building these relationships. In fact, I'm going tomorrow to another school and talk to them, another college. So, what we're wanting to do is really get a physical imprint.
Okay. Absolutely.
So definitely that. Definitely, county's always borrowed money on a TAN. We've lowered that. I think when I came into office, they pulled it in January, 4.5 million. We're down to 2. This year, I'm hoping to for rural healthcare across the state. I think our ER project is showing the validity of it, and so we're definitely going to see advancements there, and I'm going to push for that project to be hopefully a solution in other communities as well.
Right.
So.
Okay. What, 13 days till election?
13 days.
I can't vote for you, but I've gotten to know you pretty well. I'd like to tell all the viewers out there that I believe that you have a huge heart for the community. That you have
Well,
for what you're dealing with.
I appreciate it. I really, truly am just trying to do the most I can with the time you're allotted. And I know that sounds kind of philosophical, but I mean, honestly, that's what we have.
Right.
You get a short period of time to do. Being honest and being upfront about the reality of it, no matter even if I don't like the reality of
Right.
it. That is what we need.
Gotcha.
I'm not here to sell my viewpoint to anybody. I'm give me a call. I'll tell you my number is 706-676-2096, and people look at me like I'm crazy when I give that out, but I'm like, look, I will take a call. I will answer your questions anytime. I won't shoot.
I appreciate everybody hanging with us this evening, and I assure you we'll get this taken care of. I'll get this out as soon as we rewatch it, make sure that everything's good, bad, ugly. We'll get this out there, and you'll just have to. I'm trying to get everybody scheduled. So we're going to have Carrie Blackwell. She's also from Chattooga County. She's going to be running for a coroner. She's going to come in, and then we're going to have a candidate running for the House, Lisa Babbage, on next week. So you guys have